Jason,
yes, sir.
Final episode of the CNC, Critiques and Connoisseurs. I got a beverage for us that is good for all demos.
Demo God? Is that what
so.
you're referring to?
I think so.
All right.
Chris Jericho, the Bubbly.
Never tasted it.
You never had a little bit of the Bubbly before?
I'm looking for an introduction.
You mean you didn't celebrate with Jericho when he unveiled the Bubble?
A little bit of the Bubbly.
Bubbly?
That man has plenty of celebrations, but this one I have not tasted.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is a sparkling wine that Chris Jericho actually collaborated on. Champagne can only be called champagne if the grapes are actually grown in the area of northern France called Champagne. And sparkling wines must be called sparkling wine if they're only grown in that region.
Wow. Snapple Facts is on point, guy.
I'm better than Snapple Facts.
I know you are.
Listen,
Let's do it.
this is awesome.
Would you please shut the hell up?
Now, Jason, sparkling wine actually uses a method where yeast is added prior to bottling to create the bubbly.
The bubbly, the yeast?
The yeast.
Whoa.
That's the whole process.
A little bit of the Bubbly.
Now, Jason, these grapes for the bubbly were actually grown in Quincy, Washington, outside of Seattle. The grapes are grown by Shawn Boyd, the owner and master winemaker at Rotary Cellars. Shawn actually started his vineyard in 2007 and collaborated directly with Chris Jericho.
So stupid soccer mom's hair. You just made the list.
Jason, why don't you hit me with some numbers on the facts here?
Snapple Facts. You've been mighty sharp.
I
on
gave you
them.
some Snapple facts. Give me some facts on the alcohol content, the price.
I could give you something on the price. 2 bottles, maybe about $48. I think that's more than reasonable.
Sounds about right.
The Demo God. Let's taste what it's about.
Well, the Demo God's priceless.
Talk about it, brother. But it's something that I never tasted. You tasted it before.
Yes.
Let's indulge.
All right, I'm gonna have the honors here of popping the cork.
Oh. Whoa.
Bro, look at that. I love that. I love that sound. I love that little mist that comes
you
out.
You so like clean with it too.
Bro, let me tell you something.
Oh God.
I talk about cold beverages on my podcast all the time. I love me a cold beverage, man.
Well, that's what this show is all about, brother. Cold beverages.
We got cold beverages. We got Jericho's Bubbly. Now, obviously, everybody that's watched up until this point knows the premise of the show.
Yes.
I know my favorite Jericho moment. I want you to tell me your favorite Jericho moment before I tell you mine.
Ooh.
First of all, take a sip of that.
I have to. That gets you right there, the sting. Gets you the sting.
Smooth.
Smooth.
I'll tell you that. Very smooth. I get some citrus with that as well, on the back end. I get some citrus with that.
Yeah, I do too. Wow. Since this is my first time tasting, I would have to say
Hint of peach, maybe? I definitely get the hint of peach on that. Taste it again.
wow.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah. Citrus, hint of peach.
It hit the palate. It hit the palate late, but I do get the peachy taste. First time tasting. Let's talk about debuts.
Well, what'd you think of the drink?
I think the drink. I think it's good. I think it's really good.
Delicious.
Yeah, the citrusy taste is what really intrigued me. I like it. First time tasting it, I'm talking debuts. Let's talk debuts of Jericho. Countdown goes on the Big Titantron. We're talking 1999 on the Big Titantron.
With The Rock.
With The Rock. And who better to debut with on the mic?
That crowd.
Oh, man.
Man, that crowd was so hot for Chris Jericho's debut, and The Rock, you just, like, when you're watching that and you're listening to Jericho talk, you're just not even, the camera's not even focused on The Rock, but you're just feeling his anger just develop every minute that Jericho's talking on the microphone.
Well, also the song, the theme song was just so, break the walls down. Dude, the crowd, at first they didn't even know who the hell, and then they seen Jericho on the Titantron. The Titantron, that was a thing. The Titantron lit up and it said Chris Jericho. The crowd popped so hard, and he was like, Monday Night Jericho and the Rock Exchange and who the hell are you? Oh, bro, it was all golden from there. To go from a mid-carder on WCW's television flagship show, Nitro, Jericho wanted to elevate, and he stepped into the big leagues and went toe-to-toe on the mic with possibly the greatest in-ring mic performer of Dwayne Johnson, and he held his own.
Yeah, it makes me wonder when they decided to debut Jericho, why they decided to put him in that spot. Did they think highly of him immediately to come in against The Rock, or was it something where they just wanted him to be someone that makes an immediate impact?
I thought immediately it was a sink or swim situation. It was like, we're gonna invest our time and our money into this guy. Let's see what he could deliver. And we'll put him in there.
Did he sink or swim?
Oh, he swam with the Shocks. Mm-hmm. He swam with them the greatest. Like, he went toe-to-toe with Dwayne Johnson. Yeah. And it's very hard to do so because you know he's off the cuff. Everything's off the cuff. Yeah. And the banter and the reactions was really what culminated Chris Jericho. Like, he could be a main player.
Yeah.
A little bit of the bubbly.
The debut. I'm gonna say there's two moments where, to me, Jericho stood out. It was him and Triple H. And the world title win for Chris Jericho on Monday Night Raw.
They got me.
With Earl Hebner.
They got me.
They got me. That was incredible for Monday Night Raw. But not even that. What defined Jericho to me was his feud with Shawn Michaels. And the thing that really captivates me about Chris Jericho is, and I know everybody says it in the community, the IWC, is that he evolves every single time. When he's ready to evolve, you see it. And that's what I love about Chris Jericho so much, is that every single time he's different than what he was previous and prior. With Shawn Michaels, he was such the master heel, and he used vocabulary and big words that nobody really understood or knew the definition of.
Kind of pissed the fans off even more than they did.
And he knew that. Yes. That's why I loved it so much. And being a Shawn Michaels guy, Shawn Michaels and The Undertaker, like I mentioned when we talked about The Undertaker wine, number 1 and 2 in my honest opinion, when Jericho was involved with Shawn Michaels, the entire feud just was taken to a next level because of Jericho's vocabulary, his mannerisms, his body language, and the fact that he actually physically attacked Shawn Michaels' wife.
That's forbidden territory.
I mean,
he made her hold that.
I mean, that was it right there.
Dude.
That's all the feud. And then their matches. I mean,
yes.
When you talk about greatest feuds of all time, I talk about Undertaker, Mankind, Bret Hart and Shawn Michaels, Bret Hart, Steve Austin, and Chris Jericho and Shawn Michaels is also up there for me.
Did Shawn Michaels confirm that he was the reason why he got like that eye injury when he slammed it through the Jericho?
Yes, from the Jericho,
yeah. I think it was No Country for Old Men that Jericho got inspired for that character, where he was very maniacal.
You may be doing a Snapple fact on me, my friend, but No Country for Old Men is one of my favorite movies of all time.
That was where it resonated with the character.
Yeah.
That Jericho went into the suit.
Look at that.
Very subtle.
I did not know that.
Yeah, he was very maniacal, but it was all in his dialogue that kind of resonated. That he
sold it.
Yeah, and dude, he could just go walk down so calm, walk down and shut the hell up.
Yeah.
Yo, it was like, wow, like this dude, what is he doing? And then to actually punch Shawn Michaels' wife in the face. Just even saying that. He punched Shawn Michaels' wife in the face.
It made for great television.
What was that, 2008?
I think, yeah, around that time, yeah.
Wow, Jericho. He has even a great span, too.
Listen, you know, the Alpha and the Omega?
Yeah.
The whole bill for that match with New Japan Pro Wrestling?
Wow.
What do you think of his later years in his career, from, you know, working with New Japan, working with Omega, going to AEW, being the AEW World Champion, or inaugural World Champion? A lot of people on social media, and I'm very in tune with what's going on social media. Yeah. A lot of people correlate with Jericho being old, and like, how could AEW make somebody like that at that age, they're world champion. They don't really understand.
They don't.
The process of it. Like, what was your thought process behind that? Because Jericho, as the first AEW world champion, was the perfect situation for that entire company.
Regardless.
The reason why they're so successful right now.
Regardless of age factor, that man has his finger on the pulse of the business.
Yes.
Being able to culminate character after character and regenerating a new buzz every time.
Yeah.
Like, he knows what he's doing. He's shaping up the new generation of the business. He's shaping it up by saying, hey, you should try this. These are new things. Having the gall to go out there and reinvent your character is something that was frowned upon. It's like, go with what works. No, Jericho re-innovates himself every time, every 5, 3, 7 years, like in between those numbers. This guy came out with the Painmaker and going after Omega in Japan. Dude, like...
And then coming back to the States and winning the AEW World title and using his name value that he's developed over his entire career to make that company, you know, a TNT brand.
Yeah.
You know, and then help everybody else along the way.
Yeah. Well, even taking the challenge of saying, hey, I'm going to go ahead and take the risk and go with this new brand. This new brand
Which I respect.
Yes, this new brand is going to culminate the future of brand new stars. That's why he created the Inner Circle. He has the Proud and Powerful. He has Hagar. He has the MJF.
Sammy Guevara.
Yes, the Sammy Guevaras. He has so many breakout stars in the making, but it culminates with him not being able to like stay in that comfort zone. And I always have a theory. In order to be successful, you always have to challenge yourself and try new things. And that's what this man embodies. At his age, and dude, what about the springboard moonsault where everybody was clowning him where he botched it that 1 week?
On Dynamite, like 3 weeks ago.
And the next week he came back, he did it, and he smiled right at the camera. Like
I mentioned that on my show.
Dude, like
I'm like, listen, I know why Jericho did what he did on that particular episode where he smiled in the camera. I'm like, I love the fact that Jericho smiled in front of the camera because he's like, fuck you to everybody that made fun of me on social media. I know what I'm doing, bro. I had an off night. LeBron James never had an off night. Michael Jordan never had an off night. I'm like, Derek Jeter never had an off night. Give me a break. But he knew what he was doing, and I loved it. Like, I criticized him, I'm like, it was a sloppy match, but the next week I'm like, you know what? He fucked up, but he corrected it, and he made everything right again.
See, I had to pour another drink, another shot. Oh, you get one too.
Come on.
Yeah, because we're so on this. I had to pour another drink.
I need more of the bubbly.
A little bit of the bubbly.
In hindsight, even when saying the bubbly, that man watched Twitter and social media go on fire about the bubbly. He took one of his promos, it became a meme, and he had the finger on the pulse and made it the hottest thing and skyrocketed his sales for the bubbly.
Never mind that, though. His theme music is now in the level of iconic because everybody sings it. And I can't wait for us to get back to live fans where we got tens of thousands of people singing it at the same time. Like, it's become a thing now.
Yeah.
Like, his music has become a thing. His theme music has become a thing.
I'm starting to see the trend go on as this man rides and knows the trend's going on. He's a walking trend, man. Like, this dude, like, he re-innovates himself from his music to his style. Look how comfortable he is even wrestling nowadays. He barely has to do anything. And building these new stars, he barely has to do anything.
Is there anybody as perfect as Jericho right now? He wants to put over future talent. He's for his company 100%. He's as talented as he is. Like, he's the embodiment of a perfect pro wrestler.
You know what? I have to agree with you.
And that's the perfect final episode.
You know what? You're right, brother.
You know?
It's all about the bubbly. It's all about the CNC. The embodiment of what this man is representing is definitely in the direction that we're headed.
That's why we chose him for the final episode.
CNC. We're going to sign off. We'll see you in season 2.
There you go. You said it. I didn't. See you guys later.